Hello, everyone. I am back again with something new this time. I think what's this called? Ziggurat 2. That's the name of it. I I have a functioning memory. I promise. So little game, first person shooter, yada yada. I just wanted to rant about shit because I can't do that on the other channel unless I'm like streaming. But I don't have a reason to stream right now. So I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. I have spent the day riding my bike to and from school, which is, I do that every day. I don't have a car because I don't care for one. And yeah, today it was snowing for the last 12 hours. And also, I need to make it so that the game can hear the game. I can't, I can't think. There we go. So, yeah, I ride the bike to and from school every day. Not bad. I enjoy it. A little bit of exercise, a little bit of just getting out there, doing things. I enjoy riding a bike. It was snowing today. I did not enjoy riding my bike through the result of 12 hours of snowing that continued to snow and is still continuing to snow. I think we've had like a 10-minute break during which I was eating. So I wasn't even outside, and that's lovely. So, yeah, how do I rate going outside and riding my bike through the snow? So on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give it, about a 10 because there's just so many great things about it. Uh, if you're worried about the cold, don't be. The numbness of being cold and getting frozen over between wind chill and the literal snow landing on you really helps with the fact that you are covered in bruises after falling over once or twice. And what's that? You live in America like I do? Ah, well, let's go, boys, because we have this wonderful thing called unsafe roads. Doesn't that sound wonderful? Unsafe roads are absolutely wonderful because they're designed for cars. So if you're on a bike, the options are everyone's safe around you, which luckily people were, or you die. Isn't that fun? Ah, I love roads being dedicated for cars. The best part about it is when you decide to walk and it's still unsafe for you. It just really makes that day real nice and good for you. But putting that aside, what else is nice? Well, you get covered in bruises. That's really good because if you've ever read what was the name of that manga? If you have ever read Peerless Dad, you know that being covered in bruises is actually a method of training that will proceed to get you, oh, so invulnerable to everything that could happen to you. And that's a fucking lie. It hurts. But at least the numbness and slow death of all of my extremities will keep me safe from this pain. Yay. What else? Oh, yes. So, you know how in a car, if it's snowing, there will be icy patches, and you like slide on the icy patches. But usually they're not too big, so you'll just have like one of your legs, yes, one of your wheels sliding on it. Well, if you happen to be on one of those wonderful things we call bikes, you only have two wheels, and the wheels are not that far apart, so you will have both wheels on that ice. Now, if you're going fast enough, it does not matter that both of your wheels are on the ice. You'll just slide right on through. You'll have a little bit of like wobbliness, but it's not too bad. I can make it stand upright. The problem is you have to be going fast enough, and if you're going fast enough, you come into the other problem of ice, which is you can't slow down on ice. Joy. So should you attempt to slow down on ice on a bike, you have this wonderful phenomena that is called sliding and skidding. And if you try to turn and or slow down, you also have an even further increased chance to simply fall over on your bike and onto the ground on the road because this is American streets. So, suffice it to say, I may or may not have had that happen to me once. Completely safe because there were no cars around because, I go out at fucking 6 or 7 in the morning on my bike, which is so fun to be able to bike at that time of the morning. But honestly, it's safer than the rest of the times of the day. At least if you fall off, you're not getting hit by a car. So, oh God, be gone. So, you seeing all of the positives of riding a bike. What are some of the other positives? Oh yeah, no fucking seatbelts, because you don't put a seatbelt on a bike. But that's actually absolutely horrifying, because if you've noticed, people with seatbelts in cars get injured from stuff. And when you're riding your bike and you can't have a seatbelt, you just sort of take whatever damage comes at you. And if your bike decides to tip over to the side and you, say, get a leg trapped under it, you know, it's something. It will occur. It will happen. Your leg will hurt for the next while. You know, it's a joy. What else? What else? Oh, yes. There is the absolute just amazingness that is getting on that bike and having all of the street gunk from all the slightly melted parts of the road getting flung at your back and or legs and or whatever else happens to be anywhere close to it. So, you know, going to school always gets me and my backpack, or coming from school, even more so, a little bit covered in just dirt and grime. And yeah, oh, and don't forget, if you live in a small place like I do, you have to bring the bike inside, which isn't so bad since I live on the first floor. On the flip side, because you're bringing the bike inside, you also have to wipe up the floor after your bike finishes melting. Isn't that exciting? So, if you aren't already convinced about whether or not you should get a bike, here are a few other things that are a real joy. So, if you live in a hilly town like I do, you're going up and down hills for, it's about a 10-minute ride for me. That's, that hurts. That hurts a lot. But, on the bright side, if you are a under-exercising person like I am usually, you can always get one of those fancy electric bikes. Now, the price, of course, goes up, but luckily, I have the privilege to be able to have one due to other reasons. So, what's one of the joys about electric bikes? Remembering to go home and plug it in, because if you don't do that, then you've just got a 3 times more heavy than a normal bike that you get to push up and down hills. Because you could make it on a normal bike, just about. It would be an effort, but you could make it. But sadly, if you don't plug in your bike, you just gotta do that by hand. The entire thing with 3 times the extra weight, and then of course whatever's in your backpack and whatever else. Doesn't that sound like a joy? Yeah, so suffice it to say, touch salty, because on one side I honestly do enjoy riding my bike to school. It is fun. On the other side, I love cold weather, but I also hate cold weather now. So that's absolutely wonderful. But yeah. Honestly, though, if you're not doing it through snow, and you're not doing it through heavy rain, honestly, bikes aren't that bad. Now, I wouldn't recommend, like, hour-long bike rides to and from places, but, you know, just riding your bike one way, or shorter distances, not bad. But yeah. That's the rant done. I'm still gonna play because I'm still gonna be playing this. But yeah, that is me on bikes. Oh, and God forbid you don't charge your goddamn bike, and then it's snowy. That would be the worst. Luckily, that's not happened to me yet. God. 8 coins. Level 4 weapon. Interesting. Yeah, luckily that last one hasn't happened to me yet, but still, I dread the day. But yeah, so what's been going on in my life? Well, school, for one. That's the main reason that I haven't been uploading to the games channel quite so frequently. I got out the barotrauma stuff yesterday because I happened to be doing that with Cam, and I'm like, hey, you good if I record this? And Cam's always a good about letting people record stuff or whatever. He honestly does not mind. And honestly, normally he's not too bad about saying stuff that can't be said on YouTube, because YouTube will get sad if certain things are said. But yeah. So mostly just school been keeping away. Other than that, spending way too much time on the SCP stuff. Honestly, I should probably cut down a little bit on that, but on the flip side, no. Because I feel like doing that, and I have fun making all the stuff up there. Plus, I made the, what's it called? The fake SCP stuff recently, which currently is just, like, random VTubers who I'm like, yeah, this will be fun to do one on. And people have been ever so enjoying those, so that's fun. Just getting to write those up, basing it off something and going, yeah, I'm having fun. Other than that, had the stream over there for summarizing all the SCPs. That was another fun one. I missed streaming stuff, but at the same time, I was never keeping a schedule anyway for my streams, and they always ended up at, like, midnight, and, yeah. No one's gonna watch streams, if you start streaming at midnight. So luckily, the SCP one, I got to do at a certain time that was better, but, yeah, it's something. But yeah, overall, though, definitely enjoying all the SCP stuff, getting to read all the stuff people have wrote. Even when I'm harsh on judgments about stuff like that, it's just satisfying being able to read through what other people are thinking about stuff and just how other people are creative, just kind of learn about all that. Always enjoyable. It's part of the reason I enjoy just reading in general, and SCP stuff is a category of stuff I like, with the exception of one thing. I wasn't a... There we go. I wasn't a huge fan of two of the SCP articles in the first 100. The first one being, what is it? The first one being the succubus thing, when it's just like, yes, these are two things that you really don't want to say on YouTube. And so I won't. But, yeah, one of the ones, was succubi stuff, and then the last thing is just like, oh yes, and these things that are illegal in many places, it also caters to that. And it's like, oh, you didn't have to write this. You didn't have to write this at all. And so that's a thing. And then the other one was the only SCP I thought that was badly written as an SCP. The idea, not terrible. The actual way it was written, terrible. And that is the horse that used to have wings or whatever it was. I don't remember what exactly it was called. Because normally SCP articles are like, you got your containment procedures, which tell you how to contain it. You got the description, which tells you what it actually does. And the containment procedures are a little bit of, oh, I wonder what this is for. I wonder how that works. Please don't die. Okay, so that is the wrong one. Stop getting stabbed. I wonder how this containment procedure works with all of the stuff that's going on. Oh, that's interesting. I wonder what this does. All of the good stuff like that. With the horse, it just went, its containment procedures are yada yada. And so it's like, oh, okay. I can't wait to learn why this and that. And then 98% of the actual article itself in the description is just going, the horse has depression. It wants to die. And that's, like, the entire thing. And it's like, why? First of all, if you wanted to, like, write the stories about that, I'm not against that. I'm all for sad stories, even ones that, like, begin to cross a boundary. But if a researcher was talking about a horse, and it has the ability to, like, soak up water from the environment, and it used to have wings, you would talk about that stuff. You wouldn't talk about, yes, we have a horse, it has anomalous properties, but it's very depressed. Very depressed. Like, you can't imagine how depressed this horse is. And it's intelligent. It knows what's going on. It has depression. It's depressed. Because the entire time I was reading the article originally, it felt like that. And going back and doing the review and, like, covering that just made me go, oh, right. This was an article. It doesn't feel good to read. And I'm fine with things being, like, dark or this covers a topic that people don't normally want to cover. I've read through plenty of stuff like that. I've been on the internet for long enough that that stuff isn't new to me. So I don't mind reading stuff like that. But the SCP article was less SCP article and more, hi, this horse has depression. And that was the entire thing of the article that I took away from it every time I actually read through it. And I hate that so much. And I've hated it since the first time I read it. And it's so annoying. Because I used to really enjoy SCP stuff. I used to read it all the time on my free time because I was sick for a long period of time where I was just stuck at home and I'm like, well, nothing better to do. Let's read the SCP articles. And it was like so often because my mom would unplug the internet at night and I would just open up a bunch of SCP articles in random tabs and just like read through it while the internet was off during the night. So like I have fond memories of SCP stuff. I am very forgiving, but I have never had a fond memory of the horse article because it's just like you could tell us about its past. You could tell us like about so many stuff. And what you decided to tell us about is that horse depressed. There was so much more to the article that you could have covered. So many interesting stuff that I looked at and went, oh wow, that's like actually pretty cool. And you decided to go down the route of horse depressed. That's just, yeah, something I have to rant about because pain, absolute pain. But yeah. Oh yes, and we got a viewer submitted SCP thing during that stream, which what was the guy's name? He's on the Discord. Is it Kresh? Yes, Kresh. Okay. He was called something else on Twitch, but on Discord he's Kresh. And yeah, he actually wrote a pretty good article, which is going to be read on, I think Monday is when I'm gonna end up doing that. You just have to format it for the SCP styling and all that, and yeah, gonna have fun reading that. It's one of those things where, even if it's not an official article, and like, even if it isn't the absolute best thing on earth, if people want to send me stuff, I would love to read people's submissions. Just because it's fun. I get to see what runs through people's heads. And honestly, like, Kresh's is really well designed for the what the SCP is, and while he hasn't put everything into writing, and like I'll have a disclaimer and like talk about the stuff he hasn't put in, like the actual thing is actually pretty good. It's something that I looked at and went, oh damn, this could actually be in the SCP stuff. Nice. But yeah, that will be read on that will be on read on Monday because yeah. What else? Oh, thanks for gaining resistance, my dude. Yeah, other than that, school stuff, putting aside the bike stuff, because I'm not gonna rant about that repeatedly in the same video, because while it is tempting, I need the whole back. The overall stuff at school going pretty well. I am taking a business engineering degree. It kind of crosses between the two, and one of the main purposes of it are to be a liaison between like an engineering side of a business where all the engineers are talking engineer stuff, like physics and IT and whatever. Specifically, I'm going for what's it called? I'm seeing if I can get towards AI development stuff. Um, the only downside, of course, being God forbid, God forbid anyone give a, and I entirely understand why this is, but God forbid everyone give a internship based around management, which is part of my degree. Sadness. Um, yeah, which I understand. You're not just going to give like a management style position to just anyone, but at the same time, it makes me kind of sad because I would like to be able to do the stuff that's my degree is based on for it, but at the same time, yeah, yeah. Um, sure, let's get ascension. Um, but yeah, so that is the ongoings of my life. Trying to get an internship. I'm I'm gonna leave now. I ranted about the stuff I wanted to. I'm tired. I need sleep. I got 4 hours of sleep last night, and then the bike. Thank you everyone for coming. It's a joy being able to talk to you all. I'm tired and scramble. And thank you. Goodbye.